Well guys, this is a bit of a detour from my usually funny and goofy intros, but I just wanted to say, from here on out, my posting schedule might get a little nuts, just because I have moved up to a higher grade and everything is a lot more hectic up here. But don't you guys worry, I'll try my absolute best to post at least 1 week per video. It might not be on the exact same date, but then again, if you do have my notifications on, you get it beautifully presented in your YouTube feed regardless of date. With that being said, we have a very interesting video coming up today, so roll that intro. Well guys, we're back here in the beautiful competitions page of Race Room Racing Experience. And right here at the very bottom, we have the BMW M2 350i Racing Cup. So let's just open this competition up right here. And there is one very special thing. Right here at the track, we're going to the Sonoma Raceway. Now, I think this is actually in Western California, which is awesome because they have an absolutely booming car culture. Now, I'm not too sure about the actual racing aspect, but I do know cars are a big thing over there. And as you can see, I have tried qualifying for this. I'm in 198, but whatever. Right, now let's just launch this up real quick, and this is actually one of the competitions which I am gonna go for Get Real Physics, just because I actually know this track and car fairly well. Plus, the car is actually very easy to drive, even for a newbie. Alright, so we have one car to select from here, but a bunch of liveries in that car, of course. Now, there's a lot, wow. Right, and I'm a huge Red Bull fan, so we're gonna be driving
Michael Sherry.
car which is sponsored by Red Bull. It's nice and black, which means it looks good and threatening, so let's just drive it.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so we're loaded here beautifully into Sonoma. It is, well, a very interesting track, because first of all, one thing you can't see is grass, because this is mostly desert and sand. And apart from that, you might also be able to see the massive elevation changes that are here. Alright, but anyways, let's just head on over to the car setup now. This is a fixed setup race, so there's not much you can tweak at all. But steering lock is at 20, I'm gonna drop my brake pressure once, but yeah, everything else is just stock. Okay, now if we go into the options menu here, it shows amateur here for some reason, but this is actually the sort of get real setup, sort of braking and traction control here, so I have no idea why it shows amateur. I mean, I could change it here, but it just sort of messes with the bars there. Yep, that's a bug. Racer, we gotta fix that. But alright, racing line is gonna stay on because this track is very interesting at times, and you can't quite see the corners. They're just, almost all of them are quite blind, really. But anyways, that's enough yapping. Let's do this. Right, let's go straight through here. Nice, simple little hairpin. Alright, so... okay, pit straight starts right here. And our lap time started. First up, we have an Eau Rouge copycat. You need to be very careful through here. And you need to brake extremely hard here because there's a really sharp corner which you cannot see because it goes uphill. And you need to brake in a straight line, otherwise you're just gonna spin off. Right, you got a left-right chicane here. Also, again, very tight and very hidden because it's going uphill. Now we have the wider sort of bit of track here, where you can really push it because there's way too much space already. Alright, we can brake a bit harder here. Oh, I should have braked less. Right, we have that somewhat of a hairpin. And quite useless chicanes here until we get up to this bit, which is also dangerous because you're going extremely fast, and you need to not hit those barriers right there. Alright, we've got a bit of grass. I'm going flat out, it's extremely terrifying. Okay. You gotta brake a bit here, otherwise we're gonna end up in the walls. Nicely curved. Alright, there's actually the pit entrance, and you need to try not to hit that as well. Because if you do, your car is just pretty much total. Alright, we're coming back down on the pit straight line. It's a very, very hectic lap. Right, and boom. That is one lap done. Let's try stopping somewhere here where it's flat, because you don't want to stop on an incline. Generally a bad idea, because these cars don't really have e-brakes to enable. Alright. Oh, why are you going in reverse? Alright, but as you saw right there, this track is interesting. Because first of all, it's not only in the desert, it has some serious elevation change. I will compare this thing to a hill climb event, to be honest. But right, now, yeah, this is actually a very challenging track, even for like a beginner or probably even sort of an amateur driver, because yeah, you can't quite see much and you're going flat out almost all the time. You don't really brake much here. But luckily the car is really nice, because this is a BMW, which is actually fairly stock. There's not much that has been changed here, maybe the roll cage and stuff. But yeah, there's not quite a lot that's changed, and one thing that hasn't is actually the factory traction control, because it's just maxed out. I think the real car has a button to disable it, but the creators of this competition did not, so yeah, I kinda did cheat there, because the car had 100% traction control out of the box. But apart from that, this is a very cinematic track, to be honest. So let's get an outside view.
These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Cold, these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Ride or die, 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 ride or die. Cold, these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die.
That's yet another fairly decent lap under my belt. Now, I really enjoyed myself around here for some reason, and I think it's because it's not every day that you find a track where you can just go flat out for most of the lap. And if I am being completely honest with you, I did only brake fairly hard for the first couple of corners. Everything else was, well, modulation. You don't really need all that much at this track, just because there's so much space on it that you can just pump the power all you want. But other than that, that's really all we had to do with this car and track. Now, I will keep my eyes peeled for the next couple of weeks, because we've got some fairly interesting videos coming up. But with that said, my name is Janika Chandasena. We didn't make that big of a mess on track today, and I'll see you in the next one.